I love the fact that a lot of people have to be reminded of the concept that is common sense because it has completely got away from the dictionary for the last 8 years under progressive rulership. Common sense is that if your citizens go into another country and misbehave, you have to take them back. It is a moral responsibility and it is an international legal responsibility. Like, for instance, in my small country of Romania, did you know that there were American citizens that have committed crime? Yeah, like there were cases where American soldiers committed criminal activity in my country. The last one that I remember was actually a big scandal in the news where a American soldier on an American base got drunk, got in a car, and ran over someone and killed him. I don't remember how long ago that was. It's definitely more than 5 years, but there was like a massive scandal in the press. And the scandal was because we didn't want to give the citizen back. We actually wanted to lock them up for drinking and driving. But the American embassy insisted, and so, you know what America did? They took them back because that is normal, right? Like, I would expect the same from my country. If some citizens from Romania go to Japan and cause some shit over there, doesn't even matter what. Like, maybe they went into a store and broke a vase. And at that point, the Japanese government just doesn't want them anymore. They have to come back. Like, this is just not even up for debate. This is like 10 years ago, like, no one would even question this. Like, this would not even be something that would get into anyone's mind. Like, you need university Marxist professor to dumbfuck you with their indoctrination in order to make you think that, yeah, you know, like, a country shouldn't take its own people back. And so with Trump that came in, like, one of the things that he did is he wants to start deportations. Like, if you're not legally allowed to go in the United States, you're not going to be there. I mean, that's common sense. Every nation on earth had the same principles 50 years ago. Like, this is not something that's bewildering or astonishing. It's not that... I really hate the concept of undocumented citizen. Like, you're trying to tell me that I'm an undocumented American, right? Like, I'm sitting here from Romania and I'm an undocumented American. Who told you this bullshit? Who is paying the moron that came up with this concept, like undocumented? So basically, it's kind of like when you get in a car and you forget your driving license at home, and you still have a right to drive the car. You still have a driving license, just that you forgot, so you're undocumented. No, it's literally like a person that doesn't have a driving license and gets in a car and commits a crime. And when he is caught, he needs punishment. Like, he craves for punishment. He demands, like, please punish me, because I did something bad. That's the correct mindset that the society needs to have. And you also need to take into account that in the United States, the Democrat Party have brainwashed the population. Like, they struggled really hard to indoctrinate the American people that nobody is above the law. Do you guys forget that? It was like the mating call of the Democrats. It's like, nobody is above the law. Above it. No one is above it. And the American people were like, you know what? You're absolutely correct. We're going to vote Republicans so that it makes sure that no one is above the law. Even when they're jumping the border fence. Like, when they're on top of the border fence, they think they're above the law. But in reality, no one is above it because the Democrats are mating in the Senate, doing the boot sex. Right? And so, now... you have record numbers of deportations. Most countries are like, you know what? Okay, fine. Fair is fair. Like, we hoped that it wouldn't happen. We hoped that these people wouldn't be deported. But, like, well, there are citizens. Like, we gotta take them back. But unfortunately, you do have socialists in the world. You have, like, the cheeky little shits of the international community that kind of forget common sense and they need a reminder. Like here you have this guy from the Colombian country called President Gustavo Petro. And when I looked at his approval ratings, not very good. Not very good. But he thought, you know what? I can raise my approval ratings by being a cheeky little shit to the United States of America. Now here's the thing. Like, up until now, the international community, the morality of the international community is that all nation states are equal, right? Like, we're all equal. Just because I'm representing Liechtenstein means that I have the same diplomatic power like the United States. No, you fucking don't, okay? Can we cut with the bullshit? A government is as powerful as the allies that it has, the military that it can muster, and the economic might that it can produce. That's it, alright? Like, let's stop pretending that we live in the fantasy land. If you're Colombia and you want to stick it in the US, well, you better have something. You better have some strong allies. You better be able to muster a bigger military might than the United States. Or you must be some sort of economic powerhouse that's selling the US something that they can't get anywhere else. Because otherwise, it's called fucking around and finding out. And with the Trump administration, the sooner that world leaders figure this out, the better for their nation states. Because I already made a video and I said, look, I understand that under the Trump administration, when he says make America great again, he fucking means it. Like, if it comes up negotiating between Romania and the United States will want what's best for the United States. And that's how it's going to work from now on. And so my interest as a Romanian is to hire strong leaders that are going to be able to navigate the interesting geopolitical shitstorm that we find ourselves in. And we find ourselves in because of the previous leaders, both in my country, both in the European Union, and both in the United States. Like, they created this chaos. They created this mess. And so now it's got to get unfucked. And it's going to be very painful for a lot of people, including Americans, for the situation to stabilize. And so I want strong leaders that represent Romania's interest. Because otherwise, you're going to have someone that negotiates with Donald Trump, who negotiates on the behalf of the United States and their interest. And if my leader doesn't represent the interest of the Romanian people, well, then we're getting fucked. And so you need to start hiring good statesmen. Like, you need to start hiring politicians that actually mean business, politicians that actually know what they're doing, and politicians that are actually competent. Unlike this guy. Like, again, you can't talk to the United States and impose terms on them when they can fuck you over sideways. It makes absolutely no logical sense. Like, even ask the AI, ask ChatGPT, like, okay, I'm the president of the Colombia, I'm not very popular, like, these are my approval ratings. Should I fuck with Donald Trump? From 1 to 10, how good is that of an idea? And the thing is, I like the first time that Trump ran, like, you could say, well, you're fucking with Donald Trump. Now, he's got the popular vote. You're actually fucking with the American people. And so when the far-left Colombian president comes out and says, you can use your economic power and arrogance to attempt a coup, as you did with Salvador in Chile, but I will die standing by my principles. I've endured torture, and I will endure you. You may kill me, but I will survive in my people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, nobody's trying to assassinate you. They just want you to take your people back. They went into America without having the legal right to do so. And now Donald Trump is basically saying, okay, we caught them. It's kind of like, when a neighbor catches your kid jumping over his property, and you're basically saying, look, this belongs to you, right? Like, can you please take him back? Like, it's not mine. I don't know where he came from, but it's not mine. Like, please take him back. And you're like, no, it's yours now. Right? Like this is kind of how the argument is going. And so it took a couple of minutes for Trump to be informed and also formulate a response. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals, right? Like, this is another thing to mention. They're not deporting the average citizen. Like, they haven't even gotten to that point. Right now, they're deporting people that have committed crimes, right? So not only did they went into the country illegally, but once there, they also committed criminal activity. These are the people that Colombia doesn't want back. Now, what's also interesting is that when Trump ran for elections, he actually stated something which apparently got fact-checked, is that a lot of these countries are opening their prisons, they're opening their mental asylums, and they're sending all those people into the United States. And to be honest, I don't know if it's true or not, but I would probably do the same. Because it's an easy thing to fix. Like, you get rid of problematic individuals. You ease up on the taxpayer, right? Because, like, having someone in a mental asylum or having someone in a prison is actually quite costly. So, like, why not? If the opportunity arises, why wouldn't you? Like, seriously, if you're El Presidente, would you not do the same? Like, if you know that under the Biden administration, they can simply go in, would you not just make a deal with the NGO and be like, okay, well, these people, we could actually, like, can you not take them to the United States? They will have better lives there. Right, sure. Turkey did the same. Like, Turkey did the same when trying to pressure Greece before COVID. They also did the same. They opened their jails, they opened their prisons, and they started sending people en masse towards Greece. Like, it's not like it hasn't happened before, right? And so, like, Trump actually ran with that, and now he's basically, I mean, if this wasn't the case, the actions surely are making it very difficult for Colombia to beat the allegations. And as you can see here, this order was given by Colombia's social president, Gustavo. Gustavo, what are you doing? Who is already very unpopular amongst these people. His denial of these flight jets has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States. So I have directed my administration to take the immediately following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. Emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming from the United States. Now, if you want to know, one of the biggest trading partners of Colombia is the United States. And remember when I said, like, not all nations are equal? Well, de facto they aren't. Like the United States can actually survive without imports from Colombia. Colombia probably cannot survive with a 50% tariff by the United States. Like, they're going to have to struggle really, really hard in order to... It's not like they have to make up for the lost business. But there would be actual protests in the nation. Like, there would actually be people rising up and demanding that the president steps down because of the economic catastrophe that he did. Just take them in, for fuck's sakes. Like, how many are there? How many people could there possibly be from Colombia that went to the United States illegally and committed crimes? How many? 1,000? 10,000? Is it worth destroying our national economy? Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? And so, like, immediately, when the Colombian president saw all this, like 50% tariffs, and other, like symbolic gestures like visa sanctions on all party members, family members. They probably have like property and houses in the United States because this is how these socialist governments usually work, right? Like their investments are abroad because like they fuck their economy at home. And so like they don't trust the own economy that they're governing and they're buying property elsewhere. So probably they don't like this. IEPA, Treasury, banking, and financial sections to be truly imposed. And the answer came swiftly. Like, look how fast he cocked. And not only did he cock, but he actually retweeted the statement from the White House saying that the government of Colombia has agreed to all of President Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned to the United States. Even using the word illegal aliens. Well, that must really hurt as a socialist, doesn't it? Including on U.S. military aircraft without limitation of delay. Based on this agreement, the fully drafted tariffs and sanctions will be held in reserves and not signed unless Colombia fails to honor the agreement. The visa sanctions issued by the State Department and enhanced inspections will remain in effect until the first plane load of Colombian deportees is successfully returned. Today's events make it clear to the world that America is respected again. President Trump will continue to fiercely protect our nation's sovereignty. Well, I mean, this is the case, right? Like, a lot of people like to LARP that we enjoy America as the world sovereign. We enjoy being part of NATO. We enjoy all the benefits and the perks. But at the same time, we should be able to mock, ridicule, and belittle America that it's like our equal. The answer is like, no, America is not our equal. It is the world hegemon. And we should find ways to befriend them and be their allies. But, like, this is not it, right? Because you don't even have the moral high ground in this situation. Like, America was definitely in the right. Colombia was definitely in the wrong. Now, here's the interesting part. A lot of people are saying it's like, oh, we need to stand together against America. We need to stand together and rise up against this American gunpoint diplomacy. But the problem is, like, no one disagrees with what America did. Like, no one wants this shit happening in their country. Right? Like, they're setting the moral high ground on this issue. Like, I wouldn't like the fact if some other nation was to send citizens into mine and they would commit crimes here and we can't deport them. Like, what other person would like that? No, like, this is not a moral point that any other civilian would agree with, regardless if they're an American or not. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you talk to Colombians on the street and you express the problem there, it'd be like, how would you act if you were the U.S. president? They would probably say the same shit. You know, like try and make it a little bit detached from current politics. Like, say, all right, like there's two neighbors, and one of the kids from one house goes into the other and starts destroying the vegetable in the garden. And when the neighbor wants to return the kid to the parents say, nope, no, you're not allowed, keep him. Right? Like, in what world does that make sense? In what world is that acceptable in any way, shape, or form? And so this is why, you know, like, people aren't backing the socialist government of Colombia here. Now, there are conversations about how the United States is dealing with Canada. There are conversations about how the United States is dealing with Greenland. And, you know, like, there maybe people have points. This isn't one of them, though. Like, this is just a clear cut, 100% America is in the right. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.